Hey guys, what's up? My name's Ines. I write kissing books, and today I want to show you how to set up a novel in the software Scrivener, which is what I primarily use to write all of my books. Scrivener is a product of Literature and Latte. You can find them at literatureandlatte.com. I think it's $45 to do Scrivener. Let's see. There is a free trial. I think it's 7 or 30 days. But if you wanted to buy it, I think it's $45, which is a complete steal. Yeah, $49 if you're not a teacher. Highly, highly recommended. I've been using it since like 2.0. I love it. It's amazing. It's fantastic. So I'm going to start working on the fourth book in the Last Dragon series. If you've been following along in my read-alongs, I'm reading the free download of the prequel story in that world, which is called The Valkyrie's Claim. And I'm reading it because I wrote these books last year, at the end of last year. And now that I'm getting ready to write book 4, I need to remember what the heck I wrote. So I'm reading the prequel, which is free, aloud. And then I'm going to go through and reread books 1, 2, and 3 in preparation to start to plot out this book, which I will be doing live. The fourth book is called, yes, I have to look over at my wall to remember what book I'm writing. The Dragon's Reluctant Sacrifice. So all these books are about female human sacrifices getting taken to a parallel world that's beyond the veil. It's the original Garden of Eden, where these dragon sacrifices are, because the veil is that the dragons can no longer cross into the other side. They need to have people bring them sacrifices in exchange for gold and gems and rubies. And it's fun because it's alpha males finding their one woman and they claim them. Like I said, I read kissing books. So I'm going to show you how to set up how I set up a Scrivener document. So the first thing that we want to do is come to File, New. A lot of times I'll go with a blank document because I know how to put everything that I need in there. But for today's sake, we're going to just go with a novel and make a new novel. And we'll click choose and we'll tell it where to go. And you'll see how super hyper organized I am. Dragon's Rebellious Sacrifice. And I'm not in the right folder. That is my sweet stuff. We do not want to mix the sweet and the steamy stuff, which I've done once. It was not pretty. These are the Last Dragons. This is book number 4, and this is where this file is going to go. So it's going to bring up a pretty blank template. So here I've got the title is at the top, The Dragon's Rebellious Sacrifice is at the top. This is my binder where it's like the folder where you're going to put everything, and you can put anything in this binder. It's really strong and powerful. The reason I love this software so much is because I come from script writing, and one of the ways that I was taught to write a script was the note card method, where you write down the main elements of a scene on a note card before you actually start writing it. And the reason that they have you do that is because they need you to be concise, especially in screenwriting. And if you can put the main details on a card and not have to go any further than a card, then you've got it. So that's how I learned. And Scrivener has this amazing note card feature on the side, which is really powerful, but we're not going to get into all the power of it today. Another feature that I like to use as well is the notes section. And again, when I get into showing you how I actually write in this software, you'll see how I utilize the notes section. If you're impatient, then take a look at, I started doing live write with me's with her Vampire Lord. And you can go and look for those Write With Me videos, and you can see how I start to use those. But I'm going to go, my goal is to go from start to finish, plotting, drafting, revising, and then publishing The Dragon's Rebellious Sacrifice live on the channel. So, okay, here I am. I've made my new document. Now, there's some things in here that I don't need and I just get rid of. So everything that I'm going to be writing is going to be in the manuscript. I'm not going to come in here just yet. Here in the characters, when you come into the character panel, let me just grab a template really quickly. And the templates, you have character sketches, and then you also have, in the places, you have the setting sketches. I don't use either of these. I'm just showing you. So I'm deleting it because I don't use the templates. But you can come in here and you can drag an image. Let me see if I have something that I could drag. Really, it's going to probably take me too long to find something. Oops, wrong thing. What picture do I have? Do I have any pictures? Oh, in the cover, there should be some pictures in here. I'll just drag this in here just so that you can see how it works. So, oops, got too many windows open. Scrivener is what I want. And I'm going to hide you for just a second so that I can access this picture. So I could, if this was the guy that I wanted to, if this was the guy that I wanted to have my, why don't you like that picture, Scrivener? Or are you thinking about it? Oh, because it's not. I hate this about the new Macs where it tries to put everything in the cloud, so it needs to wait for that picture to actually download, which is so annoying. Okay, you there? You finished? You got it? Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, so if that was going to be like, if I cast this character, if I looked online and I found like the perfect embodiment of my male character, I can put that there and constantly refer to it. But because I'm not interested in this, I don't even keep the character panel. I'm not going to delete it though. Same thing with the location sketch. You can actually put, for especially if you do fantasy and you do maps, you can put the map in here. Wouldn't that be fantastic for you to have that constantly? Again, this isn't a feature that I use, so I just entirely get rid of the places. I also get rid of the front matter because I format my books in VELLUM. If you were going to format, you'd start to put, you put the title page here, and then you can format for ebook and for paperback here. I don't do this here. I do it in VELLUM, so I get rid of that as well. I do keep the research, but I don't need the sample output, so I get rid of that as well. I just don't use this. I use other software for this, and if you follow me along this journey, I will show you how I use all of that information. Now, I had this guy up because this is where I just keep a hold of all of my information about this particular series. Let's make this a little bit smaller so that I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so that because this is book 4, I've got a lot of stuff already done. You just need to drag and drop. So I'm going to drag and drop this plot, this plot folder that I have. As you see me plot this, outline and plot this book, I don't put down a scene that doesn't have a purpose to it. I believe, again, I was coming from screenwriting, every scene has to have a purpose. We were taught that you cannot waste the space because when I originally went to learn television production, I was in film school. And when you have to pay for the film and then you have to pay to develop it, the expense gets up there. So you learn really quickly to be economical with your shots and your words and putting it all together. So that's a really great skill that I got from film school, even though I went into television. So each and every one of my scenes has a purpose. And I call myself a plot whore because I'm not loyal to any plot. I mostly use the romance beats because I write romance. And then I go through and sometimes I'll add a plot point or another from the hero's journey. Another one that I love is the save the cat method. And I usually mix and match these all together. But when you come and you actually see any of my stories here, let me cheat and show you what I'm working on right now. This is one of my sweet books. Every single plot point has a purpose. OW stands for Ordinary World. And then again, you can see how I utilize the notes feature. I'm really anal with this. The catalyst is a plot point from the Save the Cat world. The meet cute is from the Save Romancing the Beats. I make sure everything has a purpose. Okay, let's put that down because that's not what we're talking about. So it's a lot, and I can't remember every single one of these plot points, but I know that sometimes I need to find a different plot point in a different plotting method. So I rely very heavily on these plots, and I use them over and over again. So this is my plan for marketing this series, and I'm just going to keep that there as well. This series relies a lot on the 80s because it's 80s nostalgia. So I just have a lot of fun stuff in here, like 80s catchphrases, some fun 80s things. So I'm just dragging and dropping from, because this is book 4. I'm cheating. I'm dragging and dropping a lot. I keep forgetting the book title, so I keep dragging those over as well. This outline is for, which outline is this for? This is for the 3rd book, isn't it? I believe this is an outline for the 3rd book. Yes, I am correct. So I don't need that, but I do need these notes from the third book. So I might as well just, nah, well, it's going to confuse me. So yeah, I'm going to bring over the whole notes because I need these notes. Okay, I do need the blurbs because these are the blurbs for all the books. Here's the blurb for the first book, the second book, and this was the third book. So what I'll do is I will make a new document, either from up here, add new text, or I can click down here at the bottom and go plus. And the third book was Willing Sacrifice. I remember the name of my book. Okay, and this was the blurb for that. So let me put that there. And now this will be ready for when I come to write the blurb for the Dragon's Rebellious Sacrifice. Awesome sauce. Okay. These were the text from the other books, just so that I could have them handy. And I think I'm going to copy these over too, just to make my life easy. And is there anything else that I need? That's going to take a minute. This is how I write blurb. So when I get to the actual writing of the blurb, I will share with you how I do that. I'm in the wrong place. Manuscript characters. Oh, I did do the dragons' names. Okay, so I did do a little bit with this. So I needed to make sure that I understood how I described the Valkyrie, who are the ones who grab the human sacrifices and bring them to the dragons in this world. So I am going to keep those guys in the character panel. So you guys can stay there, and I probably won't even refer to you. The other thing that I keep are the notes. And I'll show you how you go through it in a second. And the last thing that I keep is the research. And I'm actually just going to take and drag it there. When I do that, when I drag the research that was in here, spinning beach ball of death because I was doing too much. What I do, okay, here we go. So this is the research from the first 3 books, and then I start to collect them together in folders. So you'll see that this just, when I bring it over there, it's just a folder. So this is just Last Dragon stuff, and all of that stuff is in there. So now when I get ready to make some new research documents for Rebellious Sacrifice, I can just make a new document. And I can just come in here and start to type. That's everything that I need, so you can go away now. Thank you. I know, computer, I'm asking you to broadcast live and to be on the internet and to back up that project at the same time. I am a mean human. Mean human. Okay. So now I've got everything that I need. I've got my plots. I've got my marketing plan that's going to have to be redone because these books came out last year, and the marketing plan obviously is just going to have to change. My 80s stuff, my book titles, the outline. This is the wrong outline, so sorry. Another thing that I'm going to do really quickly. This was the outline for book 3. No, book 2. This was the outline for book 2. So book 2 outline, so that I don't get messed up, and then this can be Rebellious outline. Okay, so that's ready to go. Here are all the blurbs. I don't want this stuff up top, so let me just move it down. Maybe I'll put it in the notes. That's a good idea, so that it's just out of my way. Because these are the manuscripts from the free story. This is the manuscript from the first book, and so forth and so on. Okay, so I am good to go. The other thing that I'm going to do, just to show you how I do it, even though I'm not going to use it yet, there are world building templates for Scrivener. I don't use those. I just start to make a list of everything, and I just keep a running list of everything that is going on in this world. So this world building, I'm gonna call it Last Dragon, so I don't get it confused. Last Dragon's world building, because this is from a different book. This is where the dragons were originally introduced, in a whole different book. And let's just move you down here as well. Okay, so the way that the beautiful and the power of Scrivener is how you can access so many files in a nice compact space. So I'm going to come over here to my notes, and I'm going to change this from document notes to project notes. And then I'm going to add a book, internal bookmark, and that bookmark is going to be Blast Dragons. And see how all of that stuff that was in this document now pops up here on the side. And the beautiful thing is it'll stay there no matter where I click in the binder. So, and I love having this open so that when I'm writing an actual scene, like if this was chapter 1, scene 1, and I came and started writing the scene in the writing screen, if I needed to remember something that I always forget characters' eyes, their hair color. I just don't have. There's so much stuff in my head that I can't remember the small details like this. So if I was going to be writing about Ilya, he has black eyes. If I was going to be there's lion shifters in this book, and I put all their names here. And as I start to describe them, I just come and paste whatever I wrote over here, so that I don't have to go running around and looking for stuff. This is like my lifesaver. So I'm going to come up here because now I'm doing a new book. Come on. And this is, what is the name of this book again? Rebellious Sacrifice. So these are going to be the notes for Rebellious Sacrifice. And these guys here were just general notes. So, okay. The last thing that I do to get set up, because now my binder is all nice and set up. It has everything in it that I need. Now I need to make sure that when I start to do my actual writing, and I'm going to be plotting first, but when I get ready to plot, I have Act 1. I put all of Act 1 in a folder. Then I can either come down the bottom and click that little icon, or I can come up to the Add button and add a new folder. This will be Act 2. And here comes another folder. This will be Act 3. And then inside of each of these folders, you can put scenes, which are my chapters. So this will be chapter 1. So the other thing that I need to do is I have a labeling system, which is awesome because I used to label my note cards. Let me come back. So I just came from the notes view, from the bookmark view to the notes view. So here's where I get my note card back. Because what I like to do, I'm coming down to the bottom of the screen and I need to label everything. So you'll see what I mean in just a second. Let me talk to you about I'll show you now. View label color in the index cards. I'm sorry, not in the index cards, in the icon. What am I thinking? View label color in the icons. Okay, so you see how blurbs is red because it's for rewrite. If I change it to yellow, it would be in the wrong one. But now that becomes revised, and I actually don't want it in my index cards because that's going to be too distracting for me. Let me turn that off of the index cards. Thank you. Okay, so I come in, and again, let me cheat again. So you can see all of these guys, they're brown because my labeling mechanism, these are all first draft right now in this particular manuscript. So I call them the dirty draft. As I go through and I start to revise them, they're either going to get a red for, hey, you screwed up on the scene, you need to rewrite it, or they're going to get a yellow for revise. When it's ready for somebody else to take a look at it, it becomes purple beta. Once I've taken in those comments and I'm ready to send it to the editor, I will go back through and clean it up. And then once it comes back from the editor and I incorporate all those edits, then it's done. So let me close that out and then just make those changes really quickly. So I don't need a lot of these colors. I'm just going to hit the minus to get rid of them. Actually, I didn't need that one. So let's turn you brown for dirty. And I've already got the rewrite. I'm just going to move it up. And I'm a stickler for some things. I want it all capitalized. Revise. Oops. Purple. I want you a darker purple for when you're ready for the beta. Then this is when it comes back from the editor and I'll clean it up. And then I want this blue, but I want it to say done. Oops, done. And then I'll just get rid of those two. So minus, minus, and then click OK. I'm ready to go. Let me undo that. No label. So I'm ready to go. So this document is now ready for me to write in. Like I said, everything is set up in my binder, all nice and neat. Whatever comes into the manuscript is what's going to be included in the book. Everything outside of the manuscript is just for my reference. Only what's in here goes into the final book. So the next thing that I'm going to show you guys is how I actually sit down and start outlining. And the first thing that I do is I do a brain dump. So that will be in the next video when I'm ready for my brain dump and I'm ready to figure out what am I trying to write? What is the theme of this book going to even be? So I'll be working on the brain dump and then I'll be back to share that with you guys. Thanks so much for watching.